What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Once again, my name is Salandria, and today what I really wanted to talk to everyone about, to all my girlies about, is the nice girl syndrome and how the nice girl syndrome leads you into people pleasing, and you really got to watch that energy, because sometimes what can be disguising itself as fairness, as goodness, as this is the right thing to do, could be the main thing that's harming you. So let's start off with a story. So once upon a time, this girl named Salandria did her second mushroom journey. Yes, she did. She did her second journey. Spiritually led. Of course, there was like a facilitator there. There was a therapist there. The therapist it gave us a quick little session, right before, and then we went into some more therapy afterwards. But it was a spiritually led session, and not condoning it for anybody, but the main thing that I had gotten from that session was I had to drop the nice girl part of myself. And I remember being like, what? So I got it in that journey. I had got it in certain meditations that I've done before previously. It was a reoccurring thing that kept coming up for me to resolve. You have to get rid of the nice girl. And I was like, what has the nice girl ever done to anybody? Why do I have to stop being nice and kind to people? When I was younger, I went to Catholic school, and I was always into the Good Samaritan, you know what I'm saying? I used to love all the good stories about Jesus and being a good Samaritan. And my dad used to tell me that I would always make him do these random things, stop on the side of the highway and help some person standing there, because we have to be good Samaritans, I was always that type of person, you'd be a good person. So I couldn't understand why it was you have to stop being nice to people. And I'm like, that's foolish. I don't trust it. I don't know where that's coming from, but there's nothing wrong with being a nice person. Y'all, there is something wrong with being a nice person. I finally got it. This has been years. This ain't something that happened last week, baby. It's been 3 years, okay? It's been years. And so I finally am listening. I finally understand what that message was saying when it kept on coming. Why is being a nice person a bad thing? It's not bad to other people. I used to be like, so somebody needs help and I'm just not going to help them. It has nothing to do with the other people. It is you always being so nice and open and generous was actually harmful to myself. It finally was revealed to me, there's nothing wrong with being a nice person. There's nothing wrong with helping people, but there has to be a limit to that. Because if there isn't, you actually end up harming yourself. And I kept wondering, I'm such a nice person. I'm such a good person. I keep, helping as many people as I can possibly help. I'm not even in a position to really do much for people, but whatever I possibly can do, anytime I can possibly have for another person, any way that I can possibly show up for another person, I will, because I can. And that's the type of heart that I have, But then I just realized that was actually harming me. There are people in the world, y'all, who are preying on nice people, okay? They are waiting for the next nice person to walk through the door so that they can do some, oh, this happened to me and this happened to me and can you help me? Because they know that there's going to be people out there in the world with a heart who are going to be like, oh my God, let me help you, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm really starting to learn, nah, Just the same way that God helps me is the same way that God can help any other person, baby. I am not obliged, I am not obligated to help anybody with anything, because I have just looking back over my past, so many people that I've helped. I was angry the other day. I was angry because I'm like, damn, I helped so many people. And it's just like, I didn't need anything at the time, but like, why have I helped so many people? Why have I been there for so many people? And there's nothing to show for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just helping people, but it's not like it's filling up some like invisible reservoir like they tell you that it's gonna be. So I was like a little bitter about it. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bitter about it. And I realized there have been people that I have helped who in any way that they possibly could have poured into me. And I was able to name those people. And it was like 3 to 4 people. Three in the possible. It was 3 in the possible. Then I could name like 7 other people who I have gone out of my way to assist because somebody needed help, because somebody asked for help. And there was literally nothing to gain on the other side for me. Nothing to gain. Oh, this is how I saw it. Let me tell y'all the story about how I saw it. So there's an old friend that I had who just through life, we got separated, weren't that close anymore, you know? And then I was kind of cool with it because I was like, I don't even know, like assessing it now that we're not that close, was this even the proper relationship for me? I don't think so. So I was perfectly fine with it being a very distanced relationship. Like, we don't gotta be close, you know? So the person reaches out to me, and what happens? They reach out and we're just chatting, catching up with one another, you know what I mean? And so we're just chatting. I'm just saying what's going on in my life. She's saying what's going on in her life. That's it, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, you know, work from home now. Nothing really drastic has changed. Oh, you work from home? I've been needing one of those. Where you work at? Drop the link, or maybe just the name of where I worked at. Yeah, that's where I work at. Check them out. They're a great company, because they are a great company. So I'm like, yeah, check them out. They're a great company. You might really like it, you know, so and so and so. Drop the link, move on about my business. Then within like a couple of days, I get the ping on my side saying, hey, endorse this person for a job. I'm like, oh, they wasn't playing. They really put this application in and put my name on it. So I'm like, is this what I want to endorse? Okay, I'm gonna endorse it. So I endorse it. I write a good little message, because I'm all about spreading the love, spreading the wealth. If you find something, tell somebody about it, you know? So then like I had a little other helpful hints in my things in my tool bag for that would help with the interview. So then I went and I offered those. I was like, hey, and you know, if you get to the interview, here's all the tools that I have that will help you ace the interview. And so she's like, oh, wow, thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, we're chatting a bit. This is intermittently because we're in text messaging, and this is like over a 2 to 3 day span, right? So we're just texting intermittently. I'm going on about my business, whatever. And then they're like, hey, can you pull some cards about some situation? And so that is when it, like, the card jerked, like, hold up, what the fuck? And it's just like, this was a person who previously in my life, I've done a lot of free things for. Like, I used to do nails. And so that person was like my nail guinea pig. I would do tarot readings for them. Just like little benefits that were Salandria, being a friend you got to partake in because you were close to me, you were associated with me, right? So they was like, yeah, can you do this reading? And so I'm like, huh? So I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow, right? So then I had to really like sit down with it and think about it. And I'm just like, you know what? Wait a minute. Hell no. Hell no. I was mad, okay? I was mad. We have been texting for a total of 3 days. And in that 3 days, I done gave you a job hookup, endorsed you for that job, gave you the tools to get the job, and you also want a reading? No monetary, nothing. So I eventually responded back. I had to think about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm charging. it bothers me. This is a sidebar. It bothers me when there are people who are close to me who would like to use my services when they ask me for a service and then like don't offer not even $10 for a coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, that bothers me. And it's my own problem that I had with being able to ask to be like, hey, okay, if you want me to do this for you, then I'm gonna need $45. You know what I mean? Like, it was hard for me to open up my mouth and ask for things, but it was also an eye-opener to be like, okay, if I don't ask, these people don't even fucking offer. Like, they will just drink and they will not offer you a cup of water with a little bit of ice and a splash of lemon. Like, they won't do it. And that's just not me. That's just not my character. That's not my integrity. That's not my heart. So it's like hard for me to understand when people are like that. I don't get it, because I'm always going to offer something. Like, if you do something for me, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. I thought that's how the life worked, you know? But not always. I'm learning. So that moment brought it all into my eyes when they asked me like, oh, hey, yeah, and can you pull some cards? I'm like, damn, I gotta give you over the job, endorse you for the job, granted I offered the tools to ace the interview to actually get the job, and you want me to pull cards for you for free? We've been talking for 3 days, and for 3 days, I haven't asked you for nothing because I haven't needed anything. You know what I'm saying? But in 3 days, you have gotten me for 3 going on 4 damn things. Like, why do people need so much? And that actually I had an issue with that for years, because it's just like, I didn't even want friends. I didn't want friends. I didn't want a relationship. I didn't want nobody around me, because it's like, damn, people they're like always asking for something. But it's because Salandria's nice. Salandria will do it. Salandria will say yes. Really, Salandria had issues with saying no. Salandria didn't know how to say no. The only thing she knew how to say was yes, because she wanted to be liked. She wanted to be a part of the group. She wanted to be a part of the whatever. So I was saying yes. This moment, like, finally showed me what the life had been trying to show me, what God and my guides and the plant medicine, everything had been trying to show me. Like, girl, stop doing this, because people are just out here taking advantage. They out here just robbing you. Like, what are those things that they do when they just run into the store in broad daylight and just grab all the shit and leave? That's like what they're doing to me, is what I realized, and I'm letting them. So I responded back to that text message, and I was like, oh yeah, for sure, you know, I got you. My readings go for $40 now, or $45. I can't remember what the hell I said. My readings go for $45. And then they responded like, oh man, I should have known that you were charging. No more free readings. I don't have it right now. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Let me know when you do. And that was the end of it. Because, like, let me wrap this up. Hold on. God, what do you want me to say? How do I wrap this up? Know your worth. Know your worth. And you do not have to be nice. You do not have to say yes to everything in order to have friends, in order for people to like you, in order to get along with people and keep the peace. You don't have to say yes to everything. And y'all, it could get buck in here if it want to. Do y'all even believe me when I say that? I don't think I believe me. But no, seriously, like, it can get spicy in here. That's fine. Because people you can't continue to show up for people and them continuously not to pour into you. That is very, very harmful. And we can blame it on the others all day. It's our fault. It's our fault if we are constantly giving to people, seeking nothing in return, which is basically how it's taught, right? You give seeking nothing in return. You need to be discerning about who you're giving to. Because I always believe, like, you know, if I give, it doesn't matter if you give it back to me, it will come back from God, and it will. And anything that I did not get from all of the people, there's so many more stories of this type of stuff that I have, of people who I have really genuinely gone out on a limb to help, that when they had to step out of their comfort zone in any manner, if it threw them off in any way, just even the thought of it, it could not make them uncomfortable. I could have worked it out where it's like, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. And they still was like, oh, nah. And I could have said, I could have been given and given and given. There was this guy that I used to date. And I remember I was helping him with like all of this stuff, which issue number one, don't be helping these with nothing. Let me stop playing. But no, so I'm like, you know, life is life, and I'm just like helping people because I can. It's not because, in certain cases, I'm not doing it because I like you or because, you know, I want you to like me. I'm doing it just because like something in my heart be like, if I have the space and the time to do it, why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't I do it? You wouldn't do it because there's something else that you could be doing with that space and time. Doesn't matter if you was using it or not. That could have been some perfect time for you to have your $1 million idea that you gave away because you was helping this person who really, for real, ain't helping themselves and wants your help for the lack of help that they're giving themselves. But anyways, I was helping this person with so many things. I felt, oh, hold on, I'll be right back. I have my dessert in the oven and I forgot. I had to go check on it, but it's not burning. Okay, we're good. Anyways, back to my story. Helping this guy out, right? And it came down to a point where like I needed assistance with something. Something had happened with my car and I like needed to use his car or something. His car was out of commission. His car was out of commission, okay? And it just like needed to be registered or something. And I think like his license was suspended. Like he couldn't drive it anyway. And it needed to be registered and all this stuff. So I was like, yo, let me register it. And I had looked it up. He could still get it registered in his name without having it to be like registered to me, but then I could drive it or whatever. I had did all my due diligence because I'm a do all your due diligence type of girl. I did my due diligence. It was like, you know, let me use it. And he was like, he didn't even think about it. He was like, no. And I was like, and these are like the ways that I had been helping out. So I'm like, okay, but I like really need this. Can you help me with this? He's like, no, I don't like the idea of having you registering my car to you. And I'm like, you can register it to you. It doesn't have to be registered to me. And he was just like, no. But you know what just dawned on me, y'all? That just dawned on me just now. He probably said no because a couple months later, he gave it to his nephew and it broke down. He knew something was wrong with that car. He knew something was wrong with his car. Anyways. But yeah, but he had said no and it like really upset me. I was like really bothered by that. And I was like, yo, that's fucked up. And he was like, just because you say yes to everything doesn't mean that I have to say yes to everything. And I was like, oh, people see this about you. When they see that you're an easy person, we have to understand that people are calculating like that. People is out here in the world calculating like who's easy, who can I get by on, who will say yes, who will ask the least amount of questions. Like people are out here calculating like that. I don't calculate like that. My brain doesn't even work in that manner. But there's a lot of people's brains who do work in that manner. So anyways, back to my being nice and people pleasing and how it's actually harmful to me. So I had recognized like, wow, I made a list of all the people like that I can remember recently who I had like been there and been of assistance to open-heartedly, like with no bad blood, with no like, and make sure you pay me back type of energy. None of that. Just open-heartedly, yes. And like, how have they given back to me? Zero, zilch. And these are just like open friendships. What the fuck are we friends for? Friends for what? Friends because I'm the benefit. Because I've been doing this whole nice girl thing. The nice girl thing has to go. It had to go. Which, because it was tied into people pleasing, which I had thought that I had really like overcome that. But I've definitely had this people pleasing thing where I wasn't aware of my value and of my worth. And I thought that my value and my worth only came from like what I was able to do and provide for people, which is extremely masculine and fucking crazy. But I thought that my value and my worth came from how I could help other people was what made me valuable. And just through my own inner work, I realized like that's not true. Like it is a part of it, but I'm valuable just because I am. Like I've just found other definitions that suffice for what makes me valuable. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to sacrifice yourself in order to be accepted by people, because I felt like that's just how I found my place in the world, was by sacrificing myself for others in order to be accepted. And so now, being a grown, luscious, beautiful adult woman, I'm recognizing I don't have to sacrifice myself for anybody in order to be accepted, in order to be loved. And I damn sure don't have to be nice to your ass. I do not have to say yes to everything. And that's like an internal thing for me to work on. And so I'm like struggling with it now, because I'm like, okay, I think people, like, even if I don't need anything, people have to come with something, because I'm the type of person who just comes with a lot. I do nails, I do hair, I cook, I clean, I'm funny, I'm like, I'm good with work. Like, you can use me as a friend, as a person, in a lot of different ways. I'm a very resourceful person. I'm an asset to other people. I was unaware of that, y'all. I didn't see it. I had no idea until now. I'm like, I'm like super useful. You know what I'm saying? Without having to sacrifice myself, without having to go out on a limb. And so other people need to be just as useful as I am, if not more, because my nature is to help. My nature is to assist in any way that I see that I possibly can. That's my nature. Okay? So it's also my responsibility, since I know that that's my nature, to make sure that I am pairing myself with people who also have something to offer. So that way, it's not just a one-sided here. Can't even go out to dinner and buy me a damn drink. And I'm not saying like they didn't have the money. I'm just saying like the thought never crossed their mind to be like, yo, this person hooked me up. Let's go to dinner and let me just buy them some wings. Let me just buy them a drink. You know what I'm saying? Just because, you know, they helped me or they've been looking out for me. No, they don't do that. So that's basically my conversation, my spiel on being nice to people. It's okay to have a big heart. It's okay to be generous. You know what I mean? It's okay to want to look out for people in any way that you can. But just know that your duty is to you first. Your duty is to make sure that your cup is full. Your energy is oscillating in the correct direction. You are in your best space first. And also know that every human being is capable. I don't care how much they tell you they're not capable. They're lying to themselves. Because I'm only capable through God. Meaning, you're also only capable through God. You don't need me. I'm not God. Baby, I am not Jesus. I am not God. I can't help you like that. You better call on the one who can. You better call on the one who can, because it ain't me. That's what I'm learning. Like, I don't have to be this savior to all people. Being a savior to all people, being nice to all people was like holding me back in the world. And I couldn't understand, like, what the fuck is the problem? I wasn't receiving anything back. And like I said, don't worry, I can always cash it in with the big man. But just making sure in my relationships moving forward, I have that discerning eye to know when somebody says that they're incapable, first of all, it's not true. That's a lie. Or maybe God didn't want them to be capable of it. I don't know. Talk to him about it. But I'm not responsible for it. Even if I can help and I know exactly how to help, I'm not obligated to help. That has been a big thing for me. And it has been empowering for me. And I realize how much more energy that I have because of it. And then how much further in life I'm able to get because I'm selective with who and how I help, because it has to help me. You have to be able to open some kind of door for me. You have to be able to do something for me. And these are lessons that were always hard for me to accept as a woman, because this is kind of getting into like the she a gold digger way over town, that did gonna be kind of like that. But I'm beginning to really understand that, because when you're a very resourceful woman in particular, I am resourceful just naturally. Like I'll be being a use, being helpful, resolving something for somebody without even realizing that I'm doing it. And I don't even like ask others for anything because I ask God for things, you know? But then on those rare occasions that I do and people be like, oh, nah, I'd be like, well, what the hell are you doing here? Because you ask me for something every Tuesday and I be helping you out every Tuesday. You don't have nothing? Nothing? Watch out for that. Even for the people that you love, you can still be people pleasing with the people that you love, and you don't have to. You don't have to. They're okay. They're fine. They got it. God exists for them too. Just the way God be coming through in my life, they'll come through in his. I mean, he'll come through in theirs. But that's the rest of my message for you guys today. I appreciate you guys for your time. If this resonated, please let me know.